And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vice President of Healthcare Initiatives, Dr. Brannick Riggs.
Thank you. What an honor it is to be back here. As my wife and I, Julie, talk about this event in September, we say, this is a great time. We get to have a party with 35,000 of our closest friends. So we sure do enjoy our time that we can spend here. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about prevention. It's something that in the medical field, unfortunately, we don't talk a lot about. But the cost of prevention is this. We spend about $3.5 trillion annually in the US on healthcare. Sadly, 75% of that is spent on disease that could be prevented. That means that needlessly we spend $2.6 trillion every year on things that we could do something about. Dr. Sanjay Gupta is the chief medical correspondent for CNN. He recently did a documentary that I watched called One Nation Under Stress. I want to show you a short clip from that documentary.
So why are people taking this many opioids? Part of it's prescribing, part of it is becoming addicted. But why are so many people drinking? Why are so many people dying by suicide?
We are operating at a time when we're very, very good at learning about and treating diseases. I think we are less good and less proficient at understanding health.
Are we going to be remembered to have been physicians at a time when life expectancy actually dropped? I don't know. It's a little bit of an existential pain. You know?
The fact of the matter is that I am a physician at a time in a country where our life expectancy has dropped. This article taken from Smithsonian.com says that US life expectancy drops for the third year in a row. This is the longest sustained decline since 1915 to 1918. So let's examine real quick what was going on during that time. World War I started July 28th, 1914, ended November 11th, 1918. The Spanish flu epidemic, which was the summer and fall of 1918, infected 500 million people across the world. 30% of the world population was infected by the Spanish flu. It killed 20 to 50 million people, more than had been killed in World War I. So we are in trouble. I want to show a quick demonstration as to what this looks like. I thought I would bring it home to this arena. So can I have the house lights up just a little bit? I want everybody in the room to stand up. We've been here now for 2 hours this morning. It's been an amazing morning. But I want everybody to stand up. Okay, so now we're gonna go head, shoulders, knees. No, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. But I wanna show you why prevention matters. So here's an overview of the leading causes of death worldwide. Cardiovascular disease, number 1. Number 2 is cancer. And then number 3 is lower respiratory issues. The rest of it is made up of a number of things like trauma, car accidents, some which we cannot prevent. So if we go to the number 1 cause, which is cardiovascular disease, it kills 1 person every 38 seconds in this country. That's 2,300 Americans today. So if the 35,000 people that we have at this convention today represented the population of the United States, statistically we would lose 70 people in the next year. So for emphasis sake, I want to say 5 years. What does it look like in 5 years? So imagine now, doTERRA Convention 2024. 5 short years from now. I want the first 22 rows of section 1 right here to sit down. Just right here, folks, you guys stand up. We're talking right here, the first 22 rows. This is the number of people that we will lose by 2024 due to cardiovascular disease. Section 2. This is the number of people that we will lose to cancer. I want the first 20 rows of section 2 right here to sit down. Cancer is the number two cause of death in the US. 1 out of every 4 deaths in the United States, it's caused by cancer. About 610,000 patients die in 2018 from this disease process. So again, this first 20 rows of section 2 are the number of people that will no longer be with us in just 5 short years. And lastly, we turn to lower respiratory issues. These are illnesses such as COPD, emphysema, that claims the lives of many people every year, mainly due to smoking. So in the Vivint arena now, section 13 right here, and I have the first 8 rows sit down. Again, the number of people that will no longer be with us in 2024. As you can see, the death rate for these largely preventable diseases is astounding. Just look at those people that we're now missing. Some of them may be friends. Some of them may be family. Many of them are on your teams that will no longer be here. It speaks to the clip that we just saw from One Nation Under Stress that says that physicians are now better at any time in history at diagnosing and treating disease. We have gotten many, many things figured out when it comes to disease processes, but we are very poor at understanding health. So now quickly I want to turn to type 2 diabetes. This is definitely a lifestyle disease. The predictions are that diabetes will continue to rise over the next 30 years. That's as far as we can see into the future of any certain disease process. As we eat more processed foods, we exercise less, and we refuse to address stress in our lives, we can expect that number to increase. We have very good statisticians that have looked at this problem and have seen the picture that I depicted here. This is from the motion picture WALL-E. And these people are on the good ship insulin and refuse to walk around and refuse to eat healthy. But over the next 5 years, this is the number of people, again, if we represented the US population here in at this conference, this is the number of people that will be expected to be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes before Convention 2024. The whole lower bowl of the Vivint arena now sit down. This is a sobering thought and something we can do something about. This is scary. If we do not change our trajectory in this country and many others. Now, everyone can now sit down. Thank you for that demonstration. But there is hope. So for the next 30 minutes, we are going to talk about how to present this outcome for us, for our family, and for those that we love.